Welcome back to the 90 More Podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Manchester United have released an official statement confirming that Jadon Sancho will not be training with the team anymore. He will be training alone for the time being as Manchester United find a resolution for whatever is going on, the discipline issues that are happening with Jadon Sancho and Manchester United. The mother to Harry Maguire as well today has released an official statement confirming that all the criticism that is facing his son is absolutely out of nothing, it's out of spite for a player who is actually giving everything he can for his country and his club as well. The discussions have already started on the 90 More Podcast. Hit the like button and hit the comment section as well. First and foremost, Jadon Sancho, should he play for Manchester United ever again? Is it a disgrace? Is it over for Jadon Sancho? Now he's been dropped in group training. He's now training alone. Is it over for Jadon Sancho? Is there another way back? Is there another chance back for Jadon Sancho in the squad? And man, of course, Harry Maguire's mother has also come out and said, listen, my son is undergoing a lot of criticism, but a lot of this criticism is actually based on nothing. It's about clicks, it's about views, it's about people just hating on Harry, and there is nothing wrong he's actually done to actually guarantee and warranty that kind of abuse and that kind of criticism as well. So talk to me in the comment box below. Man United fans, football fans and in general, is Harry Maguire the worst centre-back the Premier League has ever seen? Talk to me in the comment box below. And Jadon Sancho as well, what are you thinking about the developing story? Let us start off with that one on Jadon Sancho, because Man United have released an official statement confirming that he will not be a part of their training squad anymore. So in the statement, they say Jadon Sancho will remain on a personal training program away from the first team group pending resolution of a squad discipline issue. As far as we are concerned, that has been an official statement released by Manchester United's communication department. Now let's get into that one. On Monday, Jadon Sancho had a meeting with the manager Erik ten Hag where they had a round of talks, and it was expected another round of talks was going to take place, and more talks were actually going to happen. However, today Sami Makpo from the Daily Mail has actually told us that Manchester United's key members in management have actually involved themselves in this discipline issue of Jadon Sancho and Erik ten Hag. So what is actually happening is Jadon Sancho has issues with Erik ten Hag and has issues with his discipline as well. Ten Hag is not very okay. He's not very well with the way Jadon Sancho is conducting himself in terms of discipline, in terms of arriving late in training, in terms of missing training as well, and things like that. And he's saying their standards that as a Manchester United player, as a Manchester United staff, their standards you've got to meet. And if you don't meet those standards, you cannot be a Manchester United player. You cannot be at Manchester United. You cannot be an employee of Manchester United as a big club. And I've got to agree. Now, what I actually understand is Manchester United as a club really understand what is going on, and they're on the side of Erik ten Hag. Because initially, when Erik ten Hag actually came out and threw away a couple of remarks on Jadon Sancho, the club said, we will be backing Erik ten Hag, we will be behind the manager, and therefore we will not be releasing an additional statement concerning what the manager has said. We trust in the manager and we believe he's taking the club in the right direction, and therefore his decisions are not going to be questioned when it comes to the Jadon Sancho situation. So Jadon Sancho coming out to retaliate, to actually reaffirm that he is an ill-disciplined player, that is a player that is not ready to conform with whatever standards that are being implemented at Manchester United. For me, that was the wrong move to do. That was the wrong thing to do by Jadon Sancho. What he had to do, in my opinion, was actually, stay calm, stay quiet, listen to the manager. If the manager is saying that you're not hitting some standards, you're not hitting certain requirements as a Man United player, he's Manchester United boss, he's Manchester United manager, he's the custodian of this football club. You've got to listen to him. I mean, you've been under different managers, you've been under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the manager who brought you through the door, and then you're under Erik ten Hag, the manager who owes you absolutely nothing. Like, he owes you nothing. You can start for him, or you can actually be on the bench and he won't be bothered, as long as you don't meet the criteria, as long as you don't meet the standards. So for me, Man United have done the right thing right here. They have just confirmed that they are a very consistent brand, they're a very consistent team, and this is actually going to send a huge message to all the egos and all the big heads in the dressing room. So it's going to show, one, that they're behind the manager. It's what happened at Arsenal. When Mikel Arteta came in, there were a couple of egos egos. There were a couple of big heads in that dressing room. Alexander Lacazette, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang arriving late for training and things like that. And the manager decided that Guendouzi, Aubameyang, will leave Arsenal Football Club with immediate effect, courtesy of discipline issues. Indiscipline was never to be tolerated at the Emirates Stadium. So that's what Erik ten Hag has done. He's dealt with Cristiano Ronaldo, the biggest egos, the only guy for me who's got the ability and who's got the license to actually carry his ego in football. But he talked to Cristiano and he told him, I don't think you are in line with the values of this football club anymore. You have been here, you're part of the people who have actually made Manchester United great during your era, but you're no longer in line with the values that promote Manchester United. And that is what is happening with Jadon Sancho. So excluding him from the entire group literally means that Manchester United have hung him out to dry. I like that. I really, really do, because there is no reason why one apple has got to spoil hundreds of apples in the box. You've got to eliminate the rotten apple. You've got to eliminate the guy that is actually not performing at the best level. And like I said before, Jadon Sancho, a player who's not performing at his best, a player who's not as essential as Bruno Fernandes or Casemiro or Marcus Rashford. I don't see the audacity where Sancho gets the audacity to actually question the mandate of the manager, because you've literally failed to impress under two managers. It's two managers you've failed to impress. I don't think he has a warranty for his indiscipline. Like, how do you carry a big ego without having something to back it up? Like, Cristiano Ronaldo could say, I'm a Ballon d'Or winner. I'm the best player in the world. So literally, I don't think Manchester United are in line to be a correct football club. And as a Ballon d'Or winner, he understands football. He's worked under some of the biggest footballing institutions in Real Madrid and probably Manchester United under Sir Alexander Ferguson. But Jadon Sancho has no right to reaffirm his indiscipline agenda and to oppose the words of manager at Manchester United. It is as simple as that. It is crystal clear. If Manchester United had chosen Jadon Sancho and thereby maybe sacking the manager or actually cautioning the manager or forcing him to play Jadon Sancho without any kind of further action or punishment, it would have literally simply represented a weak, feeble Manchester United. That is it for me. A weak, feeble Manchester United. But they've stayed strong, they have stayed calm. They have said, if we have dealt with this situation with Cristiano Ronaldo, we will deal with this situation with Jadon Sancho in the same way. Similar template, similar approach. And for me, do I see Jadon Sancho play for Man United again? Probably. I don't think it might go to the worst level unless the player becomes rebellious, unless the player eventually decides to end his career at Man United. But anyway, Jadon Sancho will be training alone, so you don't expect him to see him in that game against Brighton on Saturday. Still talking about Manchester United, Harry Maguire's mother has actually thrown fire. She has been spitting fire about Harry Maguire and the treatment he's getting from the media, but also from the people that claim they are diehards of England national team. They are diehards of Manchester United. So she says, as a mom, seeing the level of negative and abusive comments which my son is receiving from some fans, pundits, and the media is disgraceful and totally unacceptable to any walk of life, never mind someone who works his socks off for the club and his country. I was there in the stand as usual. It is not acceptable what's been created over nothing. I understand that in the football world there are ups and downs, positives and negatives. What Harry receives has gone beyond football. She also says that for me, seeing him go through what he is actually going through is not okay. I would hate to have any of the other parents or players go through this in the future, especially the young boys and girls breaking through the ranks today. Harry is a massive heart and it's a good job. He's mentally strong and he can actually handle it, as others may not be able to handle such criticism as well. And she says this sort of abuse I do not wish on anybody. So Harry Maguire's mother coming out to defend her son is one of the bravest things I've seen in the world of football. And we've got to agree, we've got to have a consensus here. She deserves massive credit. Absolute massive credit. And I like the way she has actually gone logical. I don't think she is objective, and she doesn't have to be objective. This is a very subjective point of view, and it's a very subjective matter. And she has decided to go logical rather than abuse anyone or react with insulting comments to anyone, or actually point out one of these ridiculous radio stations and media pundits that are actually driving traffic courtesy of abusing Harry Maguire. Okay, so is Harry Maguire a bad player? Absolutely. There's no question about that. Harry Maguire in the last 3 years has absolutely dropped in terms of standards, and I don't think he's a Manchester United player anymore. I don't think he should be starting for England anymore. However, we've got to ask questions here. Number one, why is Harry Maguire booed, disrespected, and abused at England, a space where we would say it is where he's performing at his best? Look, it was a friendly. He conceded an own goal, so players do concede own goals. Harry Maguire is not one of those players that constantly concede our own goals. We've got to agree. Yes, he's a defensive shambles. It's not one of the players you would say every single time he's going to concede an own goal. At times he will let his marker loose. At times he will fail to occupy the right spaces and things like that. But own goals in his game, not so much. So why I think there is a lot of hypocrisy in this debate, and there's a lot of clickbaiting and people wanting to be liked courtesy of abusing Maguire rather than providing the facts and debating the facts, is simply because you look at how Harry Maguire is abused for England or at England on national duty, and you ask yourself, has it been bad for England? How many times do England concede a ridiculous amount of goals or ridiculous goals? Just to be clear, not so many times. Harry Maguire is one of the best centre backs for country and not for club. So if he's good at Man United, if he's abused for Manchester United, Man United fans have, I wouldn't say they have the right? I wouldn't say they have the right, but they have every reason to go against Harry Maguire. So they have every reason to go, Maguire is not good enough to play for this club. But for England, it's personal. And for me, it's a little bit uncalled for. However, I think Gareth Southgate has to understand one or two things. One, Harry Maguire needs protection. And continuously calling him, I don't think that is protecting him. I don't think that is actually, helping. I think what would be helping for Harry Maguire is if the manager decided not to call him, anymore. So you literally don't expose him to the criticism. You literally don't expose him to whatever kind of abuse is happening out there. Should he leave Manchester United? I'm really surprised that he decided to stay at Manchester United. I'm really, really surprised. It's a bunch of people who literally do not value him. He's no longer wanted there. And the reason why he decided to stay, I don't understand. And probably I'll never understand. If you're Harry Maguire, what you've got to do is leave Manchester United and probably quit the national team for now, regain your confidence, regain your form, and maybe things could become a little bit much better. But anyway, talk to me in the comment box below, guys. Talk to me. What do you think about Harry Maguire and whatever is happening at Manchester United? Is the criticism justified? Is it too harsh? Is it hypocrisy? I want your thoughts. I want your comments in the comment box below.